Let's
Fun has just begun.
hello? Testing, viewers? Can you hear us? I've already got a few comments. We've only got 3 likes though, guys. That's not our usual
Because I
start.
missed Good Morning Nasdaq, they're probably rebelling.
Yeah, they're rebelling. Dom's technical issues. We're getting no more thumbs up. I think they can hear us.
They're
I'm
already
very
shooting questions, man.
Yeah, they're already ready to go.
Dexter already shot a question at us.
Daria says if your internet, Kyle, if your internet is acting up again, I'm going to deliver a new modem personally. Thank you, Daria. But
Oh.
honestly, I don't think it's the modem. I do an internet test and my internet is as fast as it's ever been. Something is up with Zoom.
Let's all do an internet test right now and see where we're at.
I'll happily show you. My internet is.
I've never passed an internet test in my life, so I'm not gonna, do
Let's
that.
do
I don't like
internet
failing.
speed.
Are you guys just running the Ookla speed test?
I just Google it.
Yeah. Just
Oh,
Google it.
we're
Ready?
pumping right now. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Let's see. Who has the
402
best
download?
internet.
See, check this out, Daria. See how fast this bad boy is? It's something with Zoom, and it's specifically when I share my screen with the Zoom. Like this whole Wine Wednesday, I imagine actually goes really well. It's when I share my screen.
All right.
It
What are
gets
your
real
guys'
bad.
numbers? I have 820 download and a 120 upload.
Jesus.
Why aren't you running the webinar?
I have 344 download and 123 upload.
Wow, that's weird. I have 402 download and 19.9 upload.
Oh wow, your upload tough over there.
Behind.
Cuddy,
I'm
what do you
scared to
got?
look.
Come on. Just do it.
I'm scared to look.
You're in New York. Or no, you're in Miami. You're in Miami. Come on. Can't be
What
that
did you do?
bad.
My speed test?
Yeah, just Google.
Just type in speed test.
Yeah,
and
Google
then hit
internet.
run speed test.
Internet speed test.
Maybe Ookla will be better to
All right,
me.
but these numbers are bad. I'm quitting.
Deal.
Oh, we're in the hundreds. That's a good start. All right, testing.
You gotta let
Yep,
us,
as I thought, Ookla numbers are higher.
well, there's a different way to test. Dom. Ookla?
Always go with the higher number.
Now my download speed is 850, and it's showing.
I
my,
lost internet connection while doing it.
It says my upload speed's 190. Who would have thought? I
Wow,
had the
dude, my
best
upload speeds are
Wi-Fi?
horrible. They're like 20.
Wow.
That's terrible.
Makes you go, wow.
Wow.
All right, we're good. My download speed is 320. Upload's getting up there. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 70.
70.
Everyone,
well-
post your speed test in the chat right now.
Yeah, everyone in chat, do a speed test. See what we're dealing with.
All right.
What's the highest could you go? Could you go like 1,000? Jack had 850.
That seems excessive.
Paid the big bucks for the big Wi-Fi package. 260 a
Yeah,
month.
Jack.
I'm,
When are you gonna build a direct access line straight to the New York Stock Exchange? When's that happening?
When I come out of retirement.
Oh. You know that costs like hundreds of millions of billions of dollars. Like people who want that direct, like if you there's some movie I saw like years ago, where that's what the movie was about. Was like this company was like in like 4 or 5 states away from New York, and was like, we need to build this direct access line to have.
Probably gives them an edge though.
I mean, it gives like a
fraction.
fraction of a second entries and exits, kind of idea. But anyways, while people start chatting it up, should we share what we're drinking tonight? Tonight, shout out to Snoop Dogg. I've got my aerator, and we are
Crimes?
drinking 19 Crimes by Snoop
I saw that one. I almost bought
in the
it.
gold.
That's a nice
You
choice.
can
Yeah.
scan that with the app, and then it will like show a video of him talking about it.
Really? Well,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I saw him on the shelf. I said, yep, let's give it a shot. It's pretty good. I'm not a big fan of red, so it's a little bit bitter, but it's also just sweet enough that I like it.
I got
Okay. Go ahead,
Michael
Jack.
Coors Light, Bubba Gum style, Dom. I hope you remember this glass. We rekindled our friendship.
Did you get it there? Oh my god, that was a great little pick me up meal after we got our shirts made.
Mm-hmm.
We should go back.
The one you said you were going to give away, Jack, and we never did.
Thank God, I can't give it away. That's too
Jack
many
just
numbers.
says stuff.
Yeah.
I almost said the person with the highest upload speed gets to come on to Wine Wednesday right now with us. But I was like, huh, maybe I shouldn't say that.
That'd be wild.
That was funny.
All right. I'm super excited to share my wine today because I've really botched it this past couple of weeks with you guys. And my girlfriend actually reminded me of it, and it's so bad. So we're gonna start all over. The past 3 weeks of Wine Wednesday, I've been drinking this label. Very important you guys look at the label. Okay, there's a horse and 3 coins.
That's a horse.
So I got this while I was
Horse?
in Tuscany. What?
It's a horse?
It's a horse? Maybe it's it's not a horse. I'm sorry, it's a bull. You should know that.
That's a
It's a
bowl.
bull. And three
It's like a
coins.
goat.
And the reason, so we were in Tuscany for like 5 days, and the reason that this is the only bottle we sent back. The reason we did this is because it was like this small little thing called Castle Trajectory, something like that. And the 3 coins, this label was made from the first banker in Italy and the first stockbroker in Italy.
Wow.
So they combined the bank with the bull, and they lived. We went to the actual castle where they make these things and where these guys lived, and they had so much money that one day they were like, "Hey, let's just start a wine company." And it was one of the first wine companies in the Tuscany region. And so moral of the story is be a banker, but be into finance. But yeah, bull. I've been drinking this for 3 weeks with you guys, and I never told you the story because I personally forgot. This was like in July. I was like, "Cool bottle,"
That is
but
cool.
it had a story.
It's a great story.
What a history.
Yeah, what a great story there.
Thank you guys. Thank you. I've been saving that one for like 6 days.
Why don't you catch us up on BBBYQ's fundamentals?
He's got a roll.
There are
right
no
now.
more. There's zero now. They're gone forever.
I'm
Thanks,
having
guys.
hibiscus
Stock.
tea.
Dom's back to the hibiscus tea. For those who were at Wine Wednesday last week, hibiscus tea is where it's at.
I'm detoxing, not drinking right now.
Wait,
There you
Kyle,
go.
what
I
are you
love it.
having again?
Who is Duke Kellogg?
What are you drinking?
Me?
19 crimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Me and Snoop are cool like that, you know?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
is that a red? Sweet
Yeah.
red.
It's a, what does it say? Why doesn't it tell me what it is?
It's like a blend.
Yeah, it just says Cali Red. Doesn't tell you
Huh.
what kind.
That's under $20 too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cheap. It's a Trader Joe's. All Trader
So
Joe's.
Nice.
Snoop's new business now that he doesn't smoke weed anymore. It's just like
There's
yeah, I'm
other
gonna make a
people on
shitty
the
bottle
covers of
wine.
those too.
Oh, is there? Just multiple. No, they just.
I think he's smoking again, by the way, Jack.
Oh, he is.
He never
Thank
stopped.
God.
That was a whole marketing gimmick.
Oh,
Yeah.
he
was
got
for-
me. I'll tell you that.
It was for like a fire pit company that sells these. And actually, me and Kelly have one. It's like this small little fire pit like container, and there's no smoke that comes out of it. So he's like, I don't smoke. No more smokes. That's why I use this container to make my fire pit.
It's like that year that Tom Brady retired and then he unretired.
yeah.
Oh, that
It
was
reminds
great.
me of it reminds me when IHOP changed to burgers, like International House of Burgers. Everyone freaked out, and then they were like, "Psych," and they just stayed International House of Pancakes.
Were they actually going to switch?
No, that was the gimmick. Like they made it seem like they were switching, and so everyone was like lost their mind, and then they came out and
To,
said,
to drive attention?
yeah, and then they said, "Nope, just kidding. We're still the International House of Pancakes."
Well, thank God.
Yeah. But anyway, so we jump right in. So people are sharing their. So Jay has 87 download and a 170 upload. Wow, he has more upload than download. That's the first. None of us had more upload than download.
You gotta get that download up number, kid.
David has 1.2 gigs up and 60 down. Isn't that 1,000? We were doing mega gigs or megabytes, or whatever the word was. Whatever the
Yeah,
the
he's
unit
got more
was.
than me.
So 1.2 gig. I think that's over 1,000. That's a lot.
Damn.
Yeah, you're prepared.
This guy just dropped his you know what on the table.
Yeah. I don't appreciate
He
that.
said solo stove. Whatever that means.
Dexter, we're ready, dude. Dexter was the third comment behind the Clover channel, and he already came with questions. And Dexter always has great questions in the 4-Leaf Clover webinars. He comes ready and prepared. He asked for profitable traders, what % annual return do you think is the benchmark for healthy account growth?
10% a month.
Why do you say that?
Why do I say that? Because I think that it's a It's a very obtainable goal if you're risking 1% of your account per trade, which is healthy. So that means you'll just have to make 10 times what you risk in one single month. And I think it's a very achievable goal.
I agree. I asked why you say that because that's like literally my average. Like I make like 10.5 to 11% a month on over my career. I don't think I'm up that much this. I think on the year I'm up like 90 or something percent. So I haven't achieved that 10% per month this year. But over my career on average, it's around 11%, which I think is like 280 something percent a year, which is insane when you compound it like that. But as my accounts have gotten bigger, I think that percentage has gone down per se. And 2022 and 2023 have been just rougher years in general. I think the biggest year I had was 2020. I made like 700%, something insane. And that was just because it was, those who trade that market know what I'm talking about. Like it was insane. It was actually nuts. But yeah, otherwise it's around 280% a year because that's the compounded of 11% a year or 11% a month. Forgive me. So, Huddy Dom, do you guys know yours? Which if you don't, you will know now that you've been.
We're spreadsheeters.
Yeah, you're spreadsheeting it up.
No, I'll leave it to the two who pay attention and know that stuff. 10% sounds good.
10% sounds great.
10% would be better than what I'm doing.
My shit does this. It does and then and then
Yeah,
it just does that.
You go in spurts. Yeah.
So it's hard to like really quantify what per month it would be.
Not hard to quantify. How much money did you start with? How much money did you end with?
Yeah, well, there's multiple accounts and you have to keep track of that stuff, and I don't do that.
Okay.
So we could keep track of it.
You should keep
Huddy
track
also,
of
I think,
it. It
wires
takes 15 minutes.
Huddy wires out the most I've seen of anybody. Like he doesn't let his
wire
what is
out
it
the
250
most.
Huddy?
What?
Like once your account goes over 250, you just wire out.
Yeah, and the E-Trade over 50 I wire out, and I just
Right
can
in the
wire it out.
T-bills.
The T-bills? All of our T-bills expired, so I don't know what to do. We have all this money again, and I don't know what to do with it. I want to spend it on something.
You don't want to get T-bills?
Well, it's kind of effed, and we can kind of go into this, but like there was a massive trade this year. Just like you had the choice, kind of throughout the year. Do you want to buy stuff in the stock market and put risk on, or do you want to buy T-bills and make 5%? And as of right now, with the Qs up 50%, just the tech index alone, seems like the Qs were a better place to park, $400,000, $500,000 than T-bills. You would have actually made a real return. And unfortunately, that trade is come and gone. So yeah, probably T-bills.
Be prepared for next time, no?
Yeah. It was cool though. It was cool to see the Qs do this. I saw a lot of rhetoric about strong markets into election years. A lot of speculation kind of hits the markets. I saw a lot of stats going into this year about kind of what happens after the types of years we had prior and what you can expect from the kind of like a first green day, but it's like a first green year. And there's a lot of like when the stocks go down like 60%, you see a lot of these strong reversal years. And they don't like continue on forever. They do have pullbacks. So I feel like kind of the meat of the move was kind of buying January 1st and selling into this December push into the highs where you might, it either goes further or it gets knocked back. But I think anything past this is kind of like, you're almost at the situation where we've had like the biggest percent gain in the Qs index in a single year. Like it's pretty incredible, 52% for an index.
Yeah,
Quite
pretty
crazy.
impressive. We're approaching highs. Well, the Fed came out today and said they plan on. I don't know who specifically from the Fed. I didn't watch Powell speak, but read a headline that said they want to lower it by 0.75 in 2024, which could either be three small 0.25s over the year, but that's certainly bullish to some degree, which is why it went up a lot. So if you want to buy T-bills at these rates, then time's ticking before they start cutting again. Depends on how long they take. I have no idea how long they're going to do it for, or until when they do the first cut.
They said summer 2024.
Okay, so you got a few more months to buy some T-bills if you want.
But it's kind of like what Jack said, where it's like, be more prepared for next time. And I agree there is a next time, but like the most important thing and not to spoil like a YouTube video that we have coming up, but one of the bigger like when I look at my year in total and just like the stock market type of business, um, when I look at my year in total, I realize that one of my bigger trades this year should have been, kind of buying the dip on a lot of these like blue chip companies that I like. And the dip I did buy. I do have great averages. I mean, I don't think I have a single position that's not up 40%, let alone, Coinbase is where it is, and I have that in the 30s. But I didn't have a structured business plan and intention going into these. So what I'm trying to say is like I kind of treated it more like fun than how much money can I make, if I am right. And so although it's a fantastic trade and I'm starting to unwind a lot of those positions as we speak this week, but at the end of the day, it's not a big enough dollar return to really give me that 10% per month threshold of growth because I didn't take those initial buys with a big enough structured plan of like, okay, here's how much money I want to put in, here's how much I want to lose if I'm wrong, and here's what I expect to do by the end of the year. And if I had those components a little bit more well thought out, I'm not saying put a huge amount of money, maybe like 3% of my net worth there, 3% of my net worth there, and get a basket of five. That would have been six-figure type of trade for me, and that would have been sick. With not a lot of money at play. And so that's one of my biggest lessons from this year is like, as a stock trader, you're always got your like entrepreneur hat on. You're always trying to create value. You're always trying to learn and branch and do more. And you really have to take the gambling aspect out of it and like the whole like, oh, I'm a stock trader. I get to do fun things with stocks. It really has to be with intention. It's one of my biggest lessons this year.
Right.
I think that was pretty well said.
Yeah, pretty easy to. I could see it now. Like, I think I remember when you told me about Coinbase. Like, yeah, I just some fun bucks, put some in there. There wasn't any, or you said plan or structure of like, okay, well, how much do I want to put in? Do I want to put any more in?
My idea was buy 30, risk 0, wait for 500. And it's going to land somewhere in between those numbers. And so I had $30 of risk, and I could have easily computed that number. And a little tougher when buying things like Google and Amazon and even Tesla, because you have to like kind of have a mathematical equation of like, is this going to drop another 50%? And like, at what level am I cutting? I'm not just going to bag hold. But again, with those companies, like it's really hard to become a bag holder if you're buying severe dips with them. You're talking about, Amazon.
Right. I agree. Let's see. Yeah, Parker asks, yeah, market closed to or is close to all-time highs. Are the money printers back on, boys? Technically no. I don't think the Fed would even print more money unless we hit some kind of, what's the word?
No need.
A recession, or in this case, another pandemic. Right. The only reason why the Fed ever turns something on is because something needs extreme, call it an analogy, CPR, or some urgent care. Right. If some part of the economy that's extremely lacking or looks ugly, then that's when they print. But if they're able to bring back a bull market with only having to adjust interest rates up and then back down, I don't think they see a need to actually print any money. They're trying to fight inflation, and if they print money, that's only going to bring it back to some degree. So I think they want to stay off that as long as they can. AJ asks, Jack, you took some time off. Are you happy? Or more like, are you enjoying your time off? I think is probably a better question.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying my time off, and it's just nice to not feel FOMO, not feel stress. Of course, there's other stressful things in life. Life isn't easy unless you're like 14 years old and playing sports and having your parents pay for everything and nothing matters. But obviously there's all stressors of life, but taking out the stress of the market, the stress of showing up to the market every day and trading and making decisions if you're going to make or lose a significant amount of money, taking that out for a month is significantly refreshing. And it's something that I really, really, really want to incorporate into my life in the coming years, is just be able to take these breaks, extended breaks, say I want to take an extended break and actually do it. And I think the main driving thing that did it for me was something that something that I already kind of knew, but I never implemented. And that was if you're really trying to quit something or stop doing something or take a break with something that you truly love and something that you've done for years and years and years and years, you really need to take it out of your control. Like you can't have control to show up and trade. So, for example, for me, to not trade, I had to defund all of my accounts to zero. So there was no possible trading. If I just had money in my account and woke up one day, it's very easy to trade. But if all my accounts are at zero and I have to actually message my brokers and re-download apps, I deleted everything off my desktop and just deleted everything. So yeah, I still kind of see what goes on in the market, and I'm like, dang, I could have traded that there, done this there. But then if I think about how much work it takes to get that money back into my account, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. So that was the key for me, and this is the longest I've gone in like 7 years without placing a trade. So it's been very refreshing.
Honestly incredible. Like I can't even imagine. I've taken breaks, but I've never defunded accounts. I've never had zero buying power. And I try my best when I'm in Europe to try not to watch the market, but like I still purvey it and I see something I like I'll take positions like from my phone or whatever. So like an honest 30 days without waking up and looking at the market, that's for 8 years I've never done that.
So
Yeah,
try it 1 year.
I can't either. I haven't either. Maybe.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I think at one point I will, but I don't know. I just don't really. I don't think I'm
You
there
don't
yet.
need to. You don't feel it right now, you know?
Yeah.
But you still check charts though, right? Like you know where the
Yeah.
cues are at. You know the penny stock runners.
Yeah. So for example, kind of what I do is I'll pull up Finviz and it shows like top gainers, top losers, and just I can just quickly hover over the chart and just kind of see what's moving. So I pull up Finviz right now. I see CCCC, STTK, AV8, VTX, LQR, VIEU, ADCT, NEPH, some Bitcoin stocks, etc. And then I go to the top percent losers. I see BQ, HYW, LPTV. And then if I scroll down, it'll show me the oil, the natural gas, gold, Dow, SPY,
Bro, that
Nasdaq
used to be
100.
my scanner when I first started. Like that's how I would find plays. I would look at Finviz at the end of the night. I'd do like the little scroll over, see the charts, and I'd be like, ooh,
Uh,
Finviz was a
yeah.
scanner
So
when I was
it's
broke.
been. I mean, I'm sure I'm not seeing everything, but I'm seeing the majority of it just by opening up Finviz and checking it out. You know, so maybe it'll still follow kind of what's going on, but yeah, I haven't seen. I mean, I've watched VVOS without watching the market. I've seen that one, VVOS, obviously the RDHL, now CCC. See, they've all been huge runners, but it's really nothing that I've been truly like tempted to trade because yes, they are moving, but no, it's not like a plus strategy for me because of the type of stocks that they are, or the floats that they are, or the institutional ownership that it is, or whatever it is, And it's not like that. Like if AMC went from 6 to 20 on hundreds of millions of shares traded every day, like that's something I can't ignore. Like I could not ignore that because that is like my bread and butter. Like if I trade that stock all day, like I'm gonna end in a profit most likely, unless I do something really stupid or something crazy happens that I've never seen before. Um, so with these other ones, I just don't feel FOMO because I know at the end of the day, it's just a gamble. It's a gamble. I might have a slight edge in the market, but if my mindset isn't 100%, if I don't have proper risk management, if I make a mistake, if I've been losing or whatever it is, it'd be so easy to mess up. Um, so yeah, it's just not it's not money in the corner for me on those plays, even though they're volatile.
Beautiful.
It's well said because especially in like markets where you don't get a lot of A pluses, traders will like instinctively find lesser ideas to go trade to make some kind of money. And a lot of those, like when you look back 8 years later, like a lot of those don't really move the needle in the account. It's the AMC 6 to 20 that really help you. But again, there's also something to be said by practicing your niche in the meantime.
Yeah, 100%.
Kellogg Austin asks, I've watched your 6 mil in 6 months video about 10 times, which I believe is a YouTube video you put out.
Yes.
When you were swinging OTCs, when they would run, then consolidate near lows, does it take a different type of market for that strategy?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that strategy only works. That strategy only worked for like 3 months out of my entire 7-year career. So there's that, right? Will we see that strategy again? I have no idea if that strategy will
That
ever
was
come
so
back
sick.
around. Yeah, but when it was working, it was the holy fucking grail. You know, if I did that strategy with 10 times the size, I would have made $20 million in a month. It's just, and there was liquidity for it. Like
Yeah, you could have.
I wouldn't even have essentially taken that much larger. If I just put $100,000 into 40 stocks, 50 stocks, right? 4 or 5 million, everything I had, and it goes up 500 to 1,000%, it's over, you know. But I didn't know at the time that the strategy would only be here for a year, but it was literally anything. Like just throw your money at literally anything and it went up.
Yeah.
As long as it was relatively a hot sector, right? The weed stocks, mushroom stocks, anything that was cheap, electric vehicle stocks, Bitcoin stocks, they all went up. I owned BS, whatever that BC, whatever one was, owned it at 8 cents, went up to $5 a share. You know, owned VPER before anyone even knew it was a thing at 0.004 or something, and it went up to 10 cents. Owned Bant. Dom owned it too. Dom owned hundreds or tens of millions of
What
shares
about,
from 0.003, went up to 10 cents.
MIND, Mind?
Mind, yeah, owned that one.
Or MINE?
All these stocks.
Oh, yeah.
It was it really was the best opportunity to make money in the market there's ever been.
So sad.
I would almost not even call it a strategy. It was just buy stock, go up. Like, that was how insane. I mean,
As long as it was cheap in the right sector.
yeah, really, that was
Cheap in the right sector and churning volume.
You know, there's and even for the Nasdaq exchange, like there's even now today there's a healthy hundreds of stocks under $1 on the Nasdaq exchange. For what? Like near the top of this run, the COVID kind of.
There were no more penny stocks.
Yeah, there was like 3 stocks left that were under $1 on the Nasdaq, and they started going up simply because the atmosphere was like, let's get these all above $1.
Yeah, the day trading community all rallied up and said, okay, let's scan for these 3 stocks.
Yeah.
And let's buy them over $1.
I remember, I think I bought one. One was at like 90 cents, and I'm like, well, if everyone's gonna buy it, like.
Free 10%.
Just
that
zero.
was back when we were tearing down walls, honey.
Yeah, just zero
Yeah,
actual strategy. It was just kind of buy.
We used to wait for breakouts and like confirmation, and then during the pandemic, especially with the OTCs, it was like, if we can get this thing on people's like on a scanner, like people are gonna buy it. So let's just buy it, and it'll go up, and then we'll let everyone else, like, I don't know. And that we weren't even in chat rooms. Like it just was what was happening. People were just buying stocks.
You had to see what was on the ask and just test it a little with a couple 10K orders, a little here, a little there. Oh, it's breaking! It's breaking! Where's the army? And then it would just go 50%. Like that.
There was so many day traders scanning for like volume breakouts or technical breakouts that once a stock got through a key level, like the masses were on it immediately.
Very easy to be in front of them too, because we knew it would run, because we have been studying for years prior before these people, so we were ahead of them.
Right.
As the experience train kind of goes down, the Cody Pavlaks are buying them before there's even a bid. And then
Cody Pavlak is buying it before it's even a ticker.
Yeah.
And then all the masses come in, and that's the masses were our exit, and that's who we were selling into, and they're not around anymore. So there's still people who've been doing this for decades. They're still buying at the very beginning, and then we kind of come in, and then it's down. And the people who've been doing it for 50 years, hedge funds, those who's making money right now,
Yeah, they're like, oh, you guys think we're still playing that game? Not
Right.
today.
It's like, nope.
Not anymore.
Let's talk about
Yeah, what's up, Kellogg?
I want to talk about BETS hitting 0.0082 today.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was looking at that too.
First sub penny on the listed.
I don't know if there is another sub penny on the listed market. You know?
I could
And
find
then
that
we
out
also
too.
have GMBL too, which is it hit 1.3 today. Now it's up in after hours to 2.
Really?
Actually. Yeah.
I thought
That's
Bets did an
interesting.
offering though, which is why it died so low.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, like, how much lower can it go at this point?
Yeah. When is it gonna go to the OTC? it's due.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a stock under a penny in the Nasdaq.
Never
I
seen a
haven't
stock
either.
under a penny either. So just crazy that we're talking about no stocks being under $1. Now we have a couple pennies, a couple penny listed stocks. It's crazy. The amount of reverse splits that companies had to do this year.
I mean, it's probably a record.
How many reverse splits did Mullen do this year? 5. How many about
lot.
FFIE too? 5. You know.
FIE is bad. FIE is what? FIE is at 26 cents. I think it was at.
And sorry.
And earlier this year, what you guys were buying like the $1.20 breakout, and now that $120 breakout or whatever is like after reverse split is at in 20s.
That's the 120 was $90 now.
Oh really? Jesus, yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
So that's a few reverse splits since then.
Yeah, and it's like every stock that any stock that's spiking under $1, like if you go into their filings, like the first thing you're gonna see is some kind of delinquency notice. Pretty much on all of them, like View and NXTP today, which were two decent runners. They're both terrible companies on the verge of delinquency.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that we're bringing that up because that's literally the opposite of what happened. We were talking about how everything was going up just because it was a stock, and now the bust has occurred, and everything that was up so much, it's getting crushed. It shows what they're actually worth, which is nothing. Most of these companies, just crazy how inflated everything got during 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, and if you even look at like the bigger runners, like the F cells and like the plugs and like GRWG, like all of the ones that even hit like double digits and encroached on like $50 are all the way back down. Like they just diluted the whole time ever since. It's crazy.
NVAX, Moderna.
NVAX is a great one.
NVAX just hit a yearly low yesterday or today hit a yearly low of $5.06 from a high of 331, which is not.
Yeah, but I don't think they ever got their drug off the. I mean, they never got their vaccine off the ground. It was like too problematic.
Talk about getting so close though. Jeez, it was like they were one.
They were in the race.
Yeah, they were one of them. Crazy.
They were like a lot of people who had autoimmune conditions that couldn't take Moderna's or Pfizer's. Like that's what NVAX was like supposed to be their safe haven, but they just couldn't meet the endpoints or something.
Yeah. Couldn't deliver. All right.
Absolutely crazy.
Dexter asked, if the Fed cuts rate 3 times next year, what will that increase the success of breakouts / first screen days? Because scammy companies can borrow money more easily and pump up their stock. I don't think so. I don't think that's the actual technical reasoning as to why stocks would work. Like no company that I'm aware of is borrowing money just to pump their own stock up. That would be market manipulation and would be fairly obvious. I feel like if there's any manipulation, it's usually from a firm or an outside kind of fund themselves on a particular ticker. I could be wrong there, but I just don't think this. Like, you don't usually see a CEO like loaning money and then, putting on an algo on their own stock. I could be wrong. Who knows how sketchy it can get? But no, I think the overall markets see Fed cuts as bullish because it's just cheaper money, and that means not the companies directly loaning money to pump up their stocks, but just like the businesses grow, and then people get paid more. Then people get paid more, and they have more free money to invest, and they use that money to go gamble, i.e., small caps we trade, and then that kind of creates a more frothy environment. And again, it's not exact science. There's no way to really prove that that's how it trickles down. But I don't think it trickles down. I mean, unless you guys have a different perspective on it. It doesn't trickle down because the companies themselves that we're trading, which are practically worthless, are loaning money for cheaper and then buying their stock back. Like, 'cause they have to still pay off the loan. That's a quicker way for them to go down in flames. So,
I mean, you just got to think about it like in terms of the psychology of money, right? If we're already in a type of recessionary environment where people are scared of a potential recession, people are not getting money for anything less than 5, 6, 7, 8%. The mortgages are way up there. People don't want to be buying scammy penny stocks, right? They want to put their money either in bonds because bonds have skyrocketed,
T-bills.
T-bills, or people want to put their money into want to keep holding their real estate and paying their 2% rates that they locked in just a few years ago, or they want to put money into Amazon, Google, Nvidia. They don't want to be buying these sketchy ass penny stocks. There's no excess liquidity for these shit stocks. And then think about during the COVID bubble and that type of market, nobody wanted to be buying these huge titans of companies. The GME thing was kind of going on. The AMC thing was going on. Bitcoin was soaring up to new highs. The NFTs are working. The speculation market was heat.
insane.
And I'm a bit surprised though that we haven't seen more speculation in the last couple months with the market move, considering the market move, considering the QQQ and SPY are up like 10% almost from their lows.
I think it's coming.
Yeah, so it's just for it to continue, not to be, if we didn't see some type of speculation market in the next 3 months and the market doesn't tank, if the market's still either going up or going sideways and there's nothing that kind of pops up, I would be extremely surprised.
Well, it's like, in my opinion, like what's coming next is kind of the FOMO trade, which is the speculation, which is like everyone that like, kind of missed the bottom and now sees the market at new highs, and like, everyone on CNBC is all raving and ranting about new highs. Like I feel like that instigates a lot of dumb money to come into the market and start buying things, not at the lows, but where they are currently. And that actually might open the door, just the more narrative, because like people aren't going to come in when CNBC is on there and saying, sell your crypto, it's down 90%, sell your Google or Amazon, whatever it is, like it's down, like it's not coming back, we're going into recession, and then like the whole narrative switches when we're at highs. But that's also the point where it's kind of too late to have good entries, relative, right? So I do expect us to get some kind of speculation in the near future.
Sweet. I agree too. The point is we don't really have to know how or why it happens. We just expect it to happen. We're just hopeful,
Yeah.
as to why it adds happening. It doesn't really change how we trade it or not. Robert asks, I'm on the start of my 4th year and haven't found profitability yet. I have been studying the Tim Challenge. What should I do? Does anyone want to start this one?
I have a great answer.
There you go. Go for it, Eddie.
My first question is, have you bought trading tickers? Because or if you have the challenge, you probably have it.
Yeah,
I would that's where I start with anyone that hasn't found profitability, and to Dexter's comment about breakouts and first green days, like there's ways to like find, metrics that make some breakouts work better than others. And I think Gritani is such a good person to study because of his like data-backed mindset, and everything's very analytical about the way that he approaches a lot of the setups, and it really helps you have that like, okay, here's the setup, here's the triggering event, and here's the risk. And that was like the most influential thing. Like when I was in the challenge, like if I didn't take the time to unpack what Gritani was doing on his webinars and in trading tickers, which again, you probably have access to both, that's who I studied. at year 2.5, and it changed all my profitability.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough details here. Um, so for that, like, have you been studying in the challenge for 4 years straight? Did you join the challenge later? What part of the challenge are you studying? Have you even studied all of it? Like, I don't know what it means. I'm not getting enough detail, right? And honestly, it's not a knock on the challenge. It wouldn't be a knock on any service. Like, beyond the service, like, okay, well, what have you learned in the 4 years? Like, you got to give us something to work with of like, okay, this is what I've been struggling with. Beyond just being unprofitable, it's like, well, why do you think that? Like, why is that the case? Like, are your losers too big than your winners? Have you not even found a setup yet? Right? Where have you found some slight glimpse of success? Right? I think there needs to be more details for us to really give you some kind of guidance, even though, the best we can do is only put ourselves in your shoes and see what we would do. But it's like, we don't know where. I don't really know. After that question, I don't really know where you're at, Robert, to be honest. We need more detail, at least for me.
I need to hear from Dom. That's what I need to hear.
Hey,
Hey, Dom here.
Your
Forgot he
thoughts
was
on
here.
all these questions as of recently.
a lot of the questions aren't my expertise. The Fed stuff, interest rates, T-bills.
That's not Dom's
Add
jam.
anything?
Big
It's not my
words. Don't like
jam.
them.
Well, what
That's
about
all
the
they talk
challenge?
about when we
What
get
about
together.
What about Robert, who's been struggling for 4 years?
Well, I think Kyle did a great job of explaining that. There's not enough information there. 4 years, yeah, I need to know a lot more. Why are you unprofitable? What do you know? What patterns do you trade? Are you trying to trade OTCs in a world where they don't exist? Are you trading everything under the sun? Day one gappers, first red days, Teslas. There's a lot to unpack there, and I'm sure he will respond with more information.
Right.
All right, Dom, we need to start hearing more of you.
I'm tired, man. I'm sitting in my basement. It's dark.
Jay asks, what do you guys consider shorting alt tomorrow? I think alt's pretty much out of play for us. I don't think any of us have it on our watch list. It's probably, if I had to guess, it fades back to where it came from, like most of these do. But that's just a guess. I really haven't been looking at it in the past few days. Unless any
What
of
do you
guys
got on
have.
your watch list tomorrow, Kyle?
What do I have? I got the C.
CCCC.
I got C squared. C squared.
Where
I've got RLSS, or no, RLSS, RSLS. We got shot, and I think that's it. That's like the main ones for me.
he's always got shot.
Yeah, we're always swinging shot. And I mean, yeah.
That one for like 5 weeks.
No, not 5 weeks. But all right,
What do you think about CHSN, Kyle?
CHSN. Oh, that's a China. Little China sketch.
I think that one should be avoided. It seems very scary.
Yeah, I think
Very
it's a future
scary.
liquidation, but as to how it gets there, the
Wait
usual.
for it to trade at like $7 with huge volume.
Yeah, some games being played. Stuff like
That
that.
one's wild.
Let's see. Let's see. More questions scrolling down here. Fran said, I think this morning, Kyle, you were talking about watching NEXT. I think you mean, Fran, I think you mean, what's it called? What's the ticker today?
NXTP.
Yeah, NXTP, because I don't think Next is even a ticker. NEXT? Is that even a ticker? Oh, it is. It's
NXT.
forward.
It was, yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing moving for NEXT. But whatever it is. Why do I keep
NXTP.
NXTP? There we go. Thank you, Dom. Yeah, I put that on my watch list. It's
It's got it on the watch list.
yeah. People, I think a lot of short sellers think it's a delisting play, which it kind of is. But until they actually delist, shorts are just going to squeeze themselves. What was the ticker that did that earlier this year? Was it Yell? Yeah, it was Yell. YELL. He's from 70 cents all the way to $5, and then right back down to 70 cents. So, when too many short sellers all fight for the same food, they end up all kind of killing themselves to some degree. So,
I don't think I think NXTP just needs to put out a filing. They need to do a quarterly report, and they're
Yeah.
hiding it for some reason. It's been quite some time,
Yeah.
and the SEC is mad at them.
Yeah.
But they paid for an appeal. Doesn't mean that they've done anything, but they paid to like appeal.
That could explain the squeeze.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of the timeline doesn't make sense for like the way that it started, but yeah. So you did end up trading it.
Jay asks, Jack, when the markets are right, are you predominantly long or short? It's probably if the markets
Wait,
are good.
can I ask this?
Yeah, go ahead, Dom.
In 2020 and 2021, since I know you know your numbers, what was your profit split between longs and shorts?
To Kellogg?
Yeah.
If you know Kellogg, pull out the sheet. Now I'm actually curious.
He was pulling up
I
a
just want to
sheet,
know,
you
like
could
that
see
was the hottest of the
reflection.
hottest market we've seen, so I just want to know.
What dates?
Just do those
2020 to 2021 March.
January 2020.
Probably like September 29 or August 2019, right? No.
It doesn't need to be perfect, sweethearts.
What's the final answer?
January 1st, 2020.
To March 2021.
This is the money sheets, by the way.
Get it while you can.
It would
Forever.
be 4 million going long and 2 million going short with a 68% win rate and a profit factor of 6.15. Average
Jesus.
win $5,000, average loss 1,600.
Gosh, I hear profit factor of 6. I'm like, we thought that was like good. We were like, wow, this is just good. And
Yeah,
now
this
we
is
know
good.
now, like, that was amazing. That was incredible.
I still don't know how he did that. Like, I don't even know how I racked my brain. I don't know how Jack sizes into plays and does that. Like, it's crazy.
I made $6 million, over 6 million, with my loss being $1,600 on average, and that was including a $370,000 loss.
But that was 2x bigger for the long side.
Yeah.
We can't do that anymore, sadly.
And that's what's crazy. Like, one of the biggest things I learned is like you don't need to have a lot of capital at risk if you have the right play in front of you. You really don't. But you still have to be a beast.
My 2020 long P&L was 104 grand, 105, just under. And short P&L was 598,000. But then 2021 was the most year I've ever made money long. Like I won't even, it's not even close. Like I made more money long in 2021 than all the years combined. Long made 406,000, and short made 1.66 million. So yeah, for me it's always been short, but 2021 long was pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's where I differ. I made 700K long in those years and 400K short. I definitely made more money long game.
How'd you look at that, Kyle? Was that you're on your spreadsheet?
Yeah, that's on my my yearly review.
Oh.
I just scrolled back to 20.
Mine starts on December like 6th.
For this year.
My data.
Yeah.
Good thing, everyone give Dom a round of applause for tracking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days so far. 6 days down, 5,000 to go.
We're gonna get after it. Hey, I'm brand new. I'm a goldfish.
He's coming in. Well, a few more minutes here. I do have to run right after 5, so we're gonna cut it right on time here. So let's do a little speed round, get some more questions in. Let's see, where did I leave off here? Yeah, there we go. Hey Jack, so is CCCC not an A+ overextended short for you because it has high institutional ownership? I can't seem to find another reason.
I would say, yeah, it's That and it's a biotech.
Boom.
And I don't have a good understanding of biotech news ever. It seems like they had positive data from phase 1 trial. So maybe somebody knows that this trial is actually somewhat legit, and it seems promising for a promising phase 2, and that's why it's up 500-600% this week. And the institutional ownership is 70%, so it's only 30% is traded freely with retail or / algos and other bullshit. So I just think it'll be whipsawy tomorrow. Maybe on the first red day it will go down, but it's probably gonna test. It's probably gonna test you with big spikes up, maybe clear outs through high day, choppy price action. Maybe it just maybe it holds all day and then it craters 30% in after hours. You don't really know. I just think kind of going into it, just saying, okay, I'm not going to size up on this. I'm going to take small size. I'm going to have one wide risk. I'm going to do a one shot, one kill or one shot, one loss type idea on it, and make sure not to get tilted on it, because if you do get tilted on a stock like that, you'll end up blowing out for way more than you want, and then it'll be hard to make it back.
Boom. Luis, do you recommend any books on technical analysis? Personally, me, no. I feel like I was the biggest book reader on trading here, unless Huddy or Dom. I know Jack wasn't a big reader, but Huddy or Dom, maybe you were. I never found a good book on technicals. It was always video-based that I found the most valuable of watching technicals. Reading for me was always like really good interviews or like psychology.
Yeah, I never read any like besides like one trading psychology book. I was reading regular nonfiction books. I kind of took the approach that I would study trading tickers for most of my technical stuff. I liked the way he taught. And then for mindset, I just tried to think like the best businessmen, the best entrepreneurs, the smartest people in the world. And that would filter over into trading.
Yeah. I didn't read any technical analysis books either, like for the most part. I just read psychology books as well. Psychology books about trading, psychology books about business. A lot of that, like you go to Barnes and Noble, that self-help section, that's where you find a Huddy in the self-help section. Funny enough. But like Think and Grow Rich, like all of these like books that can really inspire you and motivate you to want capital, to want to do things with your capital, like that motivates the fuck out of me. And I think it would do the same for anyone else, more than like you don't need to know much technical analysis more than support and resistance. I really think that's true.
Draw your
Let's
lines,
do
right?
2 more questions here. I see a funny one. KRS1 asked, do you need to have a neon sign to make a lot of money in the markets? No. I don't know when you got yours, Jack, but Jack gave me this one.
Howdy, I'm noticing
yeah.
something.
Literally
Jack, Jack, I expect a neon sign for Christmas.
Yeah, he sends me a non-neon lion. That's what's my issue this year.
You got a lion?
Yeah.
Jack, I'll
I
send you
gave
my
him a
address right
hat
after this.
too.
I'll send you my address right after this Zoom.
I'll take a
Send me.
I'll take
I'll
a
send you something funny.
neon wall hanger that's a picture of Stratton Oakmont's mascot.
There we go. Jack gave me this for my birthday like this year, so I've had this for, what is it, 10 months now?
It's dope.
It's only been 10 months.
gift.
God damn.
Yeah.
Great 10 months for Bitcoin.
If only, yeah, Jack. If only
Dude.
you bought more Bitcoin when you gave me this
It should have been
sign.
a sign to buy like $300,000 worth.
Right.
Bitcoin, crypto, Coinbase.
All right, let's do one more quick question. Have any of you tried futures market? I have not. I don't think any of us have. No.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah. Dom only knows about the pips. That's all. That's all Dom knows. Dom knows about the pips. That's it.
Oh
Dude,
my
I
God.
know some very stupid, easy patterns, and that is it.
Dom's the best.
Dom keeps it real simple.
Keep it simple, guys. Buy the breakout.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. I kind of want to end this Wine Wednesday on a wine thought. This company, whatever they are,
Oh no.
it's a great
There you
bottle of
go.
wine. It's a great bottle of wine, and I think everyone should own a bottle or two in their house.
I'll
I
try
like
it.
it a lot.
I'll try it if you ship it to me.
I think we can make that happen. I'll email my girl,
All right.
my wine girl.
Well,
Can we
alrighty.
close it on something better than that? I thought that was going somewhere.
Well, I'm
What?
happy that it's not going into a 10-minute story because
Yeah.
Kyle's got to get running.
I'm ending it right here, everybody.
I like having the material on Huddy though. The more he gives us.
Or you got to do like a bloopers clip of
You mean the more material to
rants.
shit on me later with?
So he can mute me again.
Muted.
muted.
He's gonna text me the second we get off here. Watch list?
Yeah.
uh,
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in.
wait,
Line Win
Fran
today.
asked what events are you guys planning, Kyle? Are we?
What events? Boot camp coming first week of March. Stay tuned. That will. We've already kind of released it. You kind of can technically already buy a ticket if you want, but we haven't really released the nuts and bolts of the details around it. So you're kind of taking a little more of a gamble, or you have a freer schedule than most people if you're really committed to coming. But yeah, first weekend of March will be the date. New York City.
Just book it, mark it on your calendars now.
Yeah, the sales.
This is going to be one you don't want to miss.
Official launch should come at the latest, probably the new year. If I had to guesstimate a date, maybe in the next week or two. It just depends on how things roll along here.
And then we're planning something crazy.
I don't know what he's talking about, but
I think he's marketing.
yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks so much. We will catch you all tomorrow on Good Morning NASDAQ. And for those who are in Four Leaf, you got a webinar with me tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. $7 7-day trial for those who want to get into that. And we will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Link in the
Got you,
description.
Daria.